Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Simplexive, and today I'm going to be talking about the new Halo TV show. Kind of be giving my first thoughts on it and just kind of what I'm expecting going forward. I'm going to kind of give my non-spoiler review first, so stay tuned for my final rating at the end of the review. If you guys like the new banner, hopefully it doesn't fall down in the middle of the video. Hey guys, it's Finn from the future here. When I was editing this video, I realized it kind of sounded like audio from like a Discord call, and I looked, and it's because noise suppression was on for some reason on my mic. So the audio quality isn't top notch, but it should be bearable, I hope. So with that, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and be sure to like and subscribe too. All right, thank you guys. Enjoy the video. So you might be wondering, Simplexive, you've never done any sort of TV review on your channel, and that'd be true. I don't consider myself a film critic. I do consider myself a Halo fan though, and there's been a lot of I wouldn't say maybe controversy is what you'd call it. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding the show, and you guys know I just love to chime in on Halo controversy. It's gone well in the past. There's nothing I should probably be worried about right now. So I watched the first episode yesterday, and then I watched it again today. Let it simmer, let my thoughts kind of process about it. I took notes the second time. So the first thing I got on my list that I noticed was, first I guess it's kind of something you should know before going in. So Halo TV show is not canon to the Halo storyline. It's called the Silver storyline, or the Silver universe. Basically, it's just a way that they can kind of make the Halo story their own without having to stick to the game. And I don't think that was a bad decision, especially with kind of how the show has gone. They're changing a lot of things. So yeah, just know that whatever is in the show doesn't affect the canon, which is good. That's a good thing. I thought that the action was good. I like the action. CGI, you probably heard this, maybe you haven't, but CGI is pretty mid. It's noticeable in parts. It's not like in Marvel movies, unless, for example, Marvel's obviously very high budget, but you wouldn't know that it's CGI, or you're not thinking, you don't look at it and you're like, oh, that's CGI. You obviously know it's CGI in the back of your head, but when you're watching it, you're not like, that's CGI. It's not obvious. Well, there's some scenes in the Halo TV show that are obvious CGI. I'm used to seeing Halo as a video game anyway, so it looking not completely realistic is kind of normal for me. But yeah, they could have done a bit better on the CGI. But it doesn't make it unwatchable. It just is, you kind of notice it. You're like, that's not the best CGI I've ever seen. As far as story goes, I love Halo because of the story. And they're changing a good amount of things. But what I like about the show and what I'm gonna like about it is that it's taking Halo characters and Halo weapons and all this into the Halo world and bringing it into live action, which is super cool. Even if they're switching around, story points or character roles or relationships, all that sort of stuff. It's still cool seeing these characters in real life. So I appreciate that about the show. The show is also surprisingly gory. I wasn't expecting, we're used to kind of a teenage-friendly version of Halo in the game lately. No blood, except some alien blood here and there, but no real blood. But it's pretty crazy. I won't spoil anything, but there's definitely some gore, and when it happens, you're like, whoa, we're not expecting that at all. So I like that. It's just a different return to form for Halo a little bit. Lots of people were complaining about Master Chief's voice not being Master Chief's voice in the show. Obviously, he's played by an actor that doesn't have the same voice as the guy who voices him in the game, just announced. So that was concerned for some people. Again, it doesn't bother me that much. I think Pablo Schreiber, the guy playing Chief, is doing fine. And yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff that happens later in the episode with him too. So be sure to watch it for yourself so you can see that. The first episode has a good amount of action at the start, then it kind of gets more story-esque, kind of filling in the gaps for people who don't know Halo, kind of who the characters are, and also just kind of explaining it to the Halo fans how it's different, how the story's going to change, and all that stuff. The overall plot of the show is different than any Halo game, but there are parts of other Halo games in there. Like there's parts of Halo 5 in there, which doesn't sound good on the surface, but it actually maybe gives them a chance to do certain parts of Halo 5 story here. So yeah, it's not groundbreaking cinema. It's nothing too new or anything like that, but it's fun to watch, and if nothing else, just for the action scenes, the cool stuff like that, I recommend giving it a watch. Now going on to some more spoilery stuff. So spoiler warning across the screen up here, guys. So watch the show if you haven't already, or if you're not going to watch it, you can just keep watching the video. Paramount Plus is like $5 a month, by the way. I'm not sponsored or anything. I'm just saying it's only $5 a month if you guys do want to watch the Halo TV show. All right, so we got our notepad here, getting into spoiler territory. The episode opens on the planet Madrigal, which is a stronghold slash, I guess it's kind of a stronghold planet for the insurrectionists, the people who don't like the people that Master Chief works for, the UNSC. I'm not going to go super in depth into lore here because I know a lot of my viewers aren't Halo fans. So basically, insurrectionists they don't like Master Chief and his people, so they're holed up on this planet and they're mining hydrogen. And these insurrectionists, they're kind of talking to each other in the opening scenes, and they're talking about how scary Master Chief is, and there's like almost disbelief from some of the younger fighters. Lego, I'm trying to review the first episode here. Come on. Ugh. This is Lego. Ow! Okay. So they kind of, before the Spartans even show up, they kind of build them up as these strong people, which we already know they are, but obviously newcomers maybe aren't sure how strong, like, the Spartans really are. And I like that there's, like, propaganda playing in the background. It's just a cool touch. Just kind of anti-Master Chief, anti-UNSC propaganda. So the action also starts a lot sooner than I thought it does, and it's crazy. Like, there's these kids that are doing drugs, or some Halo version of drugs, I guess. And then the main human character, well, not the main human character, but like the new character that's a human, Quan Ha, she sees the Covenant, and she's like, oh my God, Covenant! Oh, so she's running away, and then the elites just start firing at them, the aliens, and it's just like body parts are flying all over the place, legs are getting shot off. I think the first death is like a bullet and like your head blows off, blood like splattered all over the place. It's ridiculous. I was like, whoa, what the hell's going on? Because it's not. That doesn't happen in games. So it's pretty brutal. So they'll see the elites kind of storm their home base, and then it's like 20 elites versus like 150 humans, and these elites are like they're literally slaughtering children and elderly people, and it doesn't show it, but like the elite walks into the room, they're like just killing all these people and just like massacring them. It kind of sets the tone well for like how powerful these aliens are and stuff, because they literally kill 150 humans, just 20 of them, and like there's very few of the elites that die. So it kind of sets the tone in that sense for people who don't know how dangerous they are already, and then it also sets the tone well because when Master Chief and the other Spartans drop in, they're just mopping up the elites like it's nothing. So it just shows how much more powerful the Spartan is than the human, and even like more than elites. The Spartan armor designs look really cool in my opinion. I love Silver Team's like black/silver armor that they got on. It looks sick. Master Chief looks good, I think. Some of the battle scenes, I already kind of said this, but some of the battle scenes you can kind of tell when it cuts from CGI to live action and stuff, and there's some parts that are like, eh. There's this part where he throws in a assault rifle, and it literally looks like something from like Halo 3. It's just like this crappy CGI of an assault rifle. It's like probably the worst one in the episode, but it ruined the immersion a little bit. So fast forward a little ways in the episode. So it goes to High Charity, which is like the Covenant, the aliens, you know, their home base, their home world, their base of operations, if you will. And in the trailers and stuff, you know, they had this human girl that was the leader of the aliens, which is just random and didn't happen in the game, so it didn't really make sense. But in the movie, or like in the show so far, it kind of looks like she's so humans are reclaimers. They can activate, you know, artifacts and stuff left by the Forerunners. So it looks like the Covenant like saw that in her and kind of made her their leader because she could activate these holy relics. And they call her like the Holy One or something like that in the show. So, you know, they just think she's special but she's just like any other human. And so they kind of made her their leader, or their, like, you know, their religious, the head of their religion. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but it's weird in the games too, to be fair. All right, and my biggest peeve with this episode, I've seen a lot of people talk about this. My biggest peeve is when Miranda Keyes is talking to Kwan Ha, the only survivor from the human camp, and she's basically trying to get Kwan Ha to broadcast a message to the other insurrectionists to be like, hey, these aliens are legit. It's not just UNSC propaganda. These aliens are legit. They killed my colony. We need to band together with UNSC to help beat the Covenant, because like that makes sense. Why she would do that? She's like, because if she would do that, she'd be avenging her whole village that died, all 150 people. She'd be avenging her dad because the Covenant killed all these people. But instead, she's like, nah, like I want my planet to be free from the UNSC. And I'm like, your planet's gonna be dead in 3 months. What does it matter? Like, just join the UNSC. I don't get it, man. I really don't get that part. Like, I get that the UNSC are bad, but like the aliens are obviously the bigger bad here. So I don't know why she couldn't just agree. I feel like they made her disagree just so it could be a plot point later on in the episode when Master Chief leaves the UNSC for her, which is, we'll get to that a bit later. So another new thing about the show that isn't in the games is the whole memory loss thing with Master Chief. In the games, it's similar. So the clone is put in and the kids are abducted, but instead of losing their memory in the games, they were just trained to be soldiers, and they still have all their memories from when they were kids. But in the show, their memory is wiped, which would make sense from a practical standpoint, to wipe the memories of your soldiers that you want to train to be just order following machines. So it makes sense, but it's just not. It's just a new direction, I guess, for Master Chief, and it's going to be a theme throughout the show, I think. You know, him trying to rediscover his past, and him kind of being like, hold up, like maybe the UNSC isn't as good as I thought they were. Towards the end of the episode, after he kind of, you know, he decides to go rogue, I guess, to go AWOL against the UNSC, teams up with the girl. Maybe he just realizes everything's kind of wrong after touching that, you know, that Forerunner artifact. The girl doesn't trust him because they turn off the oxygen, and it isn't him to do it. Long story short, she's pointing a gun at him, gonna try to kill him. He's like, look, listen, this armor is totally bulletproof, not going to do anything. So then he takes his helmet off, and I was not expecting that. When I saw like the little parts pop off, I'm like, oh god, are they really going to take off his helmet? It's funny to me that they showed his face and not the other Spartans' faces, even though they promoted the other Spartans for the promotional material for the show. But it doesn't bug me that much, the helmet getting taken off. I was thinking about it, and like I said, I've had some time for this to sink in. Master Chief has never taken his helmet off in the games, and because that precedent was set earlier in the games, it's been upheld. But there's not really a practical reason, when you think about it, for him to keep his helmet on. A lot of people are likening the Mandalorian to this show, and I see the similarities. You know, masked tough guy, and people are saying like, oh, he should have taken his helmet off in episode 4, like they did in the Mandalorian, like later on, you know, to kind of build suspense and make it more of a big event, you know. And I get that, but Mandalorian, it's like his religion or whatever to keep his helmet on. there's no reason for Master Chief to keep his helmet on when he's not in battle, when you think about it. And people are against him taking his helmet off just because he's never done it in the games, which I totally agree with and understand. But when I think about him taking his his helmet off, and he had a good reason to. He did it so the girl would trust him. Like, hey, you can headshot me if you want me to. I trust you. You need to trust me. Made sense. I still think they did it a little bit too early, but like I said, when I was thinking about it, I'm like, why wouldn't he take his helmet off? There might be a reason. You guys can let me know. I was just editing this video, guys, and I just want to clarify. Obviously, 99% of the time, Chief should have his helmet on. It's super important for him to have it on most, if not almost all the time. I'm just saying there's no reason for him to leave it on 100% of the time. Just want to clarify that. Didn't really make that super clear. And it's not really explained why he's leaving the UNSC to help Quan. Like, it's just, he literally says, I don't know. And I think it has something to do with the Forerunner artifact, probably, if I had to guess. I'm sure we'll go into it more later in the show. But it's just kind of like, why did he leave the UNSC already in the first episode? Seems like something that happened on, later on and stuff. One moment that kind of made me chuckle that I noticed more on the second time watching is, so Halsey orders the other Spartans to protect Master Chief, even though they're told to kill him if he's going rogue, which he is. And there's like some Marines around them, and they're kind of like looking at each other like are we really about to shoot Master Chief right now? And then they kind of like get their guns on the other Marines, and it just was funny because the Marines like looked at them like, oh god, like they could kind of tell what was coming before they even started shooting, and they didn't have to shoot, luckily. And then probably like a big highlight for me was in the episode, probably one of the biggest highlights, was when that Halo theme kicks in after he touches the artifact, and the power surge goes, the EMP, and everything's just shut down, and then the ship turns on and the Halo theme just starts going, and you're just like, oh yeah, that's the good stuff right there. I like that part a lot. And overall, I mentioned a lot of positives and a lot of changes and a few negatives too, obviously. But overall, it's not like something that I see everyone enjoying. But I can see it's entertaining to watch. It's not like super thought provoking. It's entertaining, which is something for some people. It's enough for me usually. It's like I said, it's not going to be a 9 or 10 out of 10 for me. I wouldn't even go as far as rate it an 8. I would say for being conservative, 7, maybe low 6, but I think a 7 out of 10 is a solid score for the first episode. We'll see where it goes. I've heard mixed reviews on the second episode. It's not out yet. Only reviewers have seen it. So if you guys want to see my episode 2 review / thoughts, be sure to like the video and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments too. I'm back. I haven't uploaded in a while, but I just thought I'd just sit down and share my thoughts. Get this thing up finally. Thank you, Jackson, for buying me this. Loyal subscriber out there. Yep. With that, I will see you guys in the next one, maybe next week, if I decide to release another episode review. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.